Hi there, this is Rich Grof from RG Performance Sales Coaching and Leadership Development. Today we're talking about starting a business as a mortgage broker, and our subtopic or the main topic is winning your sales prospect. So in our last video we talked a lot about the overview of how you start your mortgage brokerage business. Today we're going to actually talk about that moment in time when you actually bump into somebody and you want to make a good impression and you want to start them in your sales process effectively so you can come out the tail end with a potential prospect or client signing some documents. If you don't do it right, what ends up happening is you lose it and somebody else gets that client, and that's just fair game. So how are you going to prevent this from going left or going right so that you end up working with that client? Well, we're going to start working on some very basics on this today, and so let's get started, shall we? The first thing that you need to know when you're working with your potential sales prospect is your sales prospect is somewhat a suspect first. Can't even spell it today. Your suspect is really somebody you may actually be asking a series of questions to discover if they're somewhat interested in working with you or need your product or service. So you're going to ask questions that kind of find out a little bit more about what they're doing. So if you meet them at a networking kind of event, or you're talking to somebody and you say, well, my name is Rich, I'm a mortgage broker, and they go, great, you know what, I was thinking about doing some stuff with my mortgage. What are the mortgage rates? And we start that conversation. And if that doesn't get things going, you can do a couple, have you ever thought about getting lower mortgage rate? And if they say yeah or no and they don't seem too interested, it's probably not somebody you're going to work with. Now, if they come to you and they say, I'm kind of curious about, whether I should lock in, I've got a variable rate, and I'm not sure if I should lock my mortgage in or what's going on, or how I can get rid of, some potential penalties I might be facing if I turn around and go to the next, house that we want to go to, and they're looking for some advice and some information. The number one thing I want you to make sure that you understand at this level here is you're just discovering if they're a potential prospect. And so you go slow. If you go too fast here and you jump on them, okay, they're going to notice that you jumped on them and they're probably going to back off. That's just natural. If you go too slow and seem disinterested, more than likely they're not going to be continuing on with you. So you want to be attentive. This is where great customer service comes in handy. So if they ask you a question, please answer it fully. If they ask another question, please answer it fully. Every question that you answer, though, should be including a statement at the end or an open-ended question. Now, what's an open-ended question? An open-ended question is nothing more than a question you ask them that could be answered with only a broad statement rather than yes or no. So I'll give you an example. Closed-ended. Are you moving? Yes or no? Closed-end question. And whenever you ask a closed-end question, most of the time, 90% of the time plus, you're going to get a negative answer. So if you're anticipating a yes, it's going to be no, because that's just the human nature of things. If you said, have you ever thought about moving? Different, but not quite good enough yet. And just say, if you've ever thought about moving, where would you go to? Open-ended, because they can't go yes or no to that question. And so you're only going to ask those questions when you turn around and you're in the discovery phase. It's to get more information so you can determine whether this is a potential client. If they're not a potential client, you're just maybe going to add them to your database because someday they may move, someday they may need a lower mortgage rate, someday they might need to refinance. And if you get permission to add them, notice I said permission to add them to your database, just in case they need information about different mortgage rates and such, you can help them. Now, this has been Rich Grof from RG Performance Development. My goal here was today that you get an overview about how to start your business so that you're not making costly mistakes. Please check out our website because there's more free information there than you may think. And if you've got some questions, you know how to reach us. You can just contact us through the website and that'd be awesome. Please check out the other videos. We're going to continue this session in parts 2, 3, 4, and 5 as we go forward. I'm not sure if there'll be 5, but we're going to continue this so that every time that you turn around, there'll be another video here for you to look at. It's been my pleasure. Have yourself a fantastic year.